We are 22 West Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22 West Radio is 22westmedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD, 3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Golden Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob Flores, and today we have a unique edition of the show, yes. So, not that long ago, we had an event called Journalism Public Relations Day. And in Journalism Public Relations Day, I met a few professionals, and one of the things that I constantly hear is the importance of having a reel. So, without further ado, obviously, you guys are familiar with Ethan, who does a show with me, the pro wrestling talk show known as Beyond the Ropes. So this is a takeover edition of the show. And without further ado, Ethan's gonna take over.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Golden Spotlight. I'm your special guest host for this week. First off, thanks Rob for letting me take over. This is the first time I'll be interviewing someone over the radio, so please welcome our guests. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jaclyn Passaro.
And you are a comedian, correct?
Yes, I am a comic.
All right. And I've been doing a little bit of research before this, and you're from the East Coast, correct?
Correct, originally, yeah.
All right. So where did you grow up? And kind of give us a backstory about kind of growing up in the East Coast.
So I grew up part of my childhood on Long Island, New York, and then my family moved us to Arizona when I was in 6th grade. Okay. So elementary school was there, and then middle school and high school was Arizona.
Nice. And, did you grow up with any siblings?
Yes, okay. I'm the oldest. I have a brother and a sister.
Oh, nice. So you were, you mentioned the oldest. What was it like growing up with siblings and such?
I think when you're the oldest kid, you have to figure out a lot of stuff for yourself. So I've always been drawn to people who are older than me, just because you're like the guinea pig, so you're kind of clueless. Mm-hmm. And your parents are the hardest on you because they've never experienced having a kid before. You're number one.
Right. And how did that mold you getting into college and stuff? Did that kind of help you decide, your major and what you wanted to do?
I would say that, when you're firstborn, you're naturally very independent. So, I originally wanted to be a news anchor. Okay. And then I've always, had an interest in entertainment, even as a kid. I really wanted to act at one point. I did acting classes and some, plays and stuff of that nature. But one of my high school teachers thought I would be really great at being a reporter. Because I'm, really nosy and, to ask people questions. So I did, attempt to do that. I did, stuff with my school's radio station. I did stuff briefly with, our school's television station. I would make stuff myself. I'd interview people and, film it and put it online. Nice. And, but I really kind of wasn't into it after a while.
Did you just get bored of it, or was it just something that you just
I realized that, when it comes to being a news anchor, it's all serious, and a lot of it is negative, it's bad things that get the most publicity when it comes to news, so murders and horrible things, and I really don't think that I would have been, had I succeeded, I don't think I would have ended up happy in the end.
So you kind of went a complete 180 with kind of comedy way. But before we get into that, what college did you go to?
ASU.
ASU, okay. And your major was?
It was film and media studies.
Film and media studies.
Yeah.
So what made you interested in that?
I guess it was this, I wasn't a good student, so I had really bad grades. So it was the second thing closest to the journalism. I didn't have the GPA to get into that school. So when I got into college, I was undeclared and then eventually did that type of stuff. And the classes were all right, but they really helped, looking back now, shape how I am as a writer. Like when
Okay.
it comes to joke writing and just writing stuff, it really helped shape my voice.
Okay, great. How did you get into comedy and stand-up?
I just started to do open mics,
Okay.
and then I figured out that there's not too much stage. There's a lot of stage time in LA, but not like a huge amount. So I figured out running your own shows and producing a lot of your own stuff helps you network with people and get better stage time and better shows.
And how were you able to start that? Did you just go to different clubs, or did you?
I pitched it to a bar and they accepted it, so it was one pitch.
Okay.
And then I started doing it in a bar, and then they changed owners, so I stopped doing it there, and then I've done theater shows. I currently run a show at this place that looks like a storage center, but it's like a lot of artists go there.
Mhm.
I see a lot of people on Instagram, like music people and models and
Oh, really?
photographers, so I use it to run comedy shows.
Nice. And so you mentioned you were in Arizona. After that, you went to college. And then how did you get to be here in LA?
I moved with my sister.
Okay,
We've
cool.
always
So,
wanted to live in California.
nice. And how long have you been here?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so not too long. What's it like so far being in LA?
I think LA is pretty interesting because there's just such a wide range of people. I've made some like really cool friends, but there's a lot of people who are like total BSers and
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
very diverse, both good and
yeah.
negative. But it also helps you grow, and as well as a comic and such. Are there any inspirations when it comes to like your stand-up part? No.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely influenced by Anthony Jeselnik's writing style. Sarah Silverman for sure.
Okay. Yeah, she's a very interesting comic.
Yeah.
She's good. Any other males or that inspired you?
I would say Jeselnik is like the most I'm
The most.
influenced by. I've watched a lot of his stuff. And I probably mostly women. I mean,
Nice.
I'm not really influenced by Joan Rivers, but she's definitely one of like my favorite comics for
Mhm.
sure. And the fact that she always was able to push people's buttons with the right buttons.
Right, and she said she never apologized for her
No,
comedy. Yeah.
she never apologized.
Right, and do you have that same kind of attitude?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous when people think that what you're saying should be taken seriously because it shouldn't. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's just a joke.
Mm-hmm. And you're really into dark comedy.
Yeah.
As such. Some of your jokes have included suicide and
Yeah.
which I find funny, but it's not everyone's kind of cup of tea. And so, in today's world where there's a lot of politically correct people and such, do you find it's harder to come up with comedy, or do you just kind of go for it and be like, well, if you don't like it, then you don't need it?
I find that the more confident that I get on stage, the more people get on board with you. It's really about confidence. People that I didn't like me like last year, I can get them to laugh now. Even with the same type of stuff, it's just I'm getting more confident in myself, and I know that the material's good, and I know it's funny, and I know that it's not out to hurt anyone.
Right. Okay. Did you change your delivery, or was it just kind of?
My delivery is changing a bit. I smile a lot more, so I'm saying these horrible things, but it's like happy.
Mm-hmm.
And someone told me last week that I make people feel very comfortable, even though I'm saying these horrible things, that I could get darker. I
Wow.
could get even worse.
Yeah. Well, it's important, I think, to definitely make people feel comfortable, because I think they'll relate more and maybe kind of like you a lot more than
Yeah.
you might if you didn't, make them comfortable. when you decided to get into stand-up, did you ever perform like for your family or friends beforehand, or did you just kind of you went all for it?
I think it's like really weird performing in front of family and friends because they don't understand that comedy is an act and everything that I say stems from the truth, but of course it's an exaggeration of the truth. So some things that I say as my mother's character, she didn't really say, but it's an exaggeration of her as a person. So I have to like lie a little bit and beef it up.
And you have a very good impression of her. And so you're fully Italian, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. So, what's it like being in an Italian family? Like, you always hear these just kind of very family-oriented stories coming from Italians. So, what was that?
I'd say that my family really shaped the fact that the dark humor definitely stems from my family. Like, they can deny it, but like I grew up in a family that like talked about everything and really made fun of everyone, no matter like what they were.
Right.
Anybody could be a victim, and some people would say that's so bad, but I really don't, because I don't think that we should exclude people. I think that like we should be able to make fun of everything. Because it helps people in the end. Like, there's laughter, there's humor in the dark.
Right. Cool. And you're also a producer, correct? Or
Yeah, well, I produce my own comedy
you produce
shows.
comedies, okay.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate more on that?
So I've done shows at theaters, and right now, like, I do it at that storage center. So I pick the place, I book the comics, and just put together a show.
Okay, so you're like a booker? essentially?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then, like, try to promote, too.
Well, awesome. So have you ever had any bad experiences with that? Any stories?
Yeah, plenty. It's really hard to promote comedy in LA. It's hard to get an audience because there's so much competition with names, you know. And so that's, and sometimes, the show doesn't start on time, or you have problems with the mic. Stuff like that can always go wrong.
Any bad stories with any like comics? Like, you don't have to point out any names or anything.
Not really. There was one that was kind of rude that I just wouldn't book them again.
Oh, okay, so nothing too crazy.
No.
Okay, cool. And you've been doing this for a few years. So far, what's the highlight? What's been the highlight since you've kind of been in this business?
Probably just like cool people that I'm meeting. It's like super neat to like hang out at the Laugh Factory. I'm not performing there yet, but a lot of my close friends are, so it's really cool to see them on lineup with some really, really cool people. And just, I would say, developing a character that people are starting to understand.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, you want to elaborate more on that character?
Yeah, so when you're a character on stage, you really have to let the audience know this. Because as a comedian, people think that everything that you're saying is you, and you're that horrible. So, like, I go on stage and act like this really horrible person for the most part. But it's so exaggerated now that people understand that this is, this is satire and this is a character. And I'm really taking down people who are like that. But I'm, like, using myself as the victim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like an act.
Yeah,
essentially.
it's definitely an act.
Definitely an act, which is good because I think a lot of comics kind of do that, where they kind of tell their stories and such, but they do definitely exaggerate, and I think that's how people really get into them.
Yeah.
Any like big comics that you've met?
Nobody like super over the top famous yet. I mean, like tons of working ones, but I haven't met like Jerry Seinfeld or anything like that yet.
He's one of my favorite comics.
Yeah.
Are you into him? Or?
I think his show was very funny, and I think that I like the fact that he really understood what his comedic voice was right from the beginning. Most successful comics did. If I look at older videos of them, of course they'd have developed, but they all really understood their brand from the beginning.
Have you seen Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee?
Yes.
I love that show. What do you think?
Yeah, I
Any
think it's
favorite
interesting.
episodes?
It was interesting to see Kristen Wiig. She's very different than what she is on SNL.
Yeah, she is.
She's serious.
Yeah, and you get to see different personalities too, which is really cool. Like
Yeah.
from their on screen and off screen.
Yeah.
So are we not commercial here? Okay, and we're gonna head to a commercial break, and we'll be back.
Did you know that 71% of students
Because I heard music, I'm like, where's that coming from? But it seems to be
2016 Lawrence State awarded $12.3 billion in scholarships. Not only that, each year more than 1,500 students are served by disabled student services, leaving no barriers in their path to an education. At the beach, we know no barriers. It's a philosophy that applies to everything we do.
Love Before Learning, Learn for Life. Arts and Services for Disabled Incorporated provides programs and services including enrolled day and outreach programs, gallery shows, exhibitions, and community partnerships.
We really focus on abilities versus disabilities, allowing people to learn to express themselves through evidence-based music and art therapy. And one of our biggest goals here is to create inclusion through creative arts and really bring our population into the community and allow them to be integrated into society.
To donate or for more information about Arts and Services for Disabled, www.artsandservices.org.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the
I
set?
put my own show commercials in some
Promoting
Hey, I'm Rob Flores, the host of the Golden Spotlight. Join me as I showcase a variety of guests.
I am what they refer to as an exoneree.
Hi, I'm Carla Perez, otherwise known as Rita Repulsa, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a television series.
As people have told me before, like, you're really funny, you should try stand-up. And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later, and the next thing I know, I was a firefighter.
I do all my own music videos, I edit my music videos, I write the concepts for the most part, I direct the filming of it, etc. So I have a blast with it.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight, and it's always a new story. So join me every Monday at 2 p.m. on 22 West Radio. You never.
And we're back with the Golden Spotlight. I am your guest host, Ethan. Once again, thanks to Rob for letting me guest host today. And we are back with my guest, Jaclyn Passaro. Thanks for coming in once again. You can always follow me on Twitter at EthanNV95. And where can they find you on social media?
Just my name, Jaclyn, Jaclyn, and then Passaro on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, great. We've been talking a lot about your comedy and such. Is there any other projects that you work on or passions that you're really interested in?
I collaborate with people and make skits. Like I did one a couple of weeks ago with some friends. We were spoofing an 80s workout thing that hasn't been edited yet. And so mostly that type of stuff. And I really I started to write a pilot for a web series. I'd like to produce a web series, but I want to make sure that it's perfect. It's perfect first.
Right.
And then before looking into how to get funding and whatnot for shooting.
Yeah, that would seem like a long process and such.
Yeah.
I was briefly reading or watching your interview with Rob last year, and you mentioned that you were doing a you were producing some type of satire series or something that was going on at the time.
Oh yeah, I did do. I was in a funny horror thing that's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And yeah, I still talk I was gonna do a skit with some people, but they read it and thought it was too dark. So I mean,
dark,
I'm always they didn't like it. That thought it was too dark. But that's my style of humor, so I stick to what I do because. Right. The people who enjoy my humor, they want to hear that. Right, that sounds interesting. If some people are calling it too dark. Yeah.
I mean, I would think people would really like to kind of break mold and stuff, and that seems like really fun thing to get into. Where would you like to see yourself in 10 years?
With a successful show.
Like
There's a lot of stuff. I feel like I would love to have a successful show on Hulu or Netflix, because I think that regular television will eventually go out of style. And at least, like, I understand that there's competition on Netflix and Hulu too, but it's not like this as the same as competing with a specific time slot.
Right, because people can just dive
Yeah.
in whenever they want, you
Yeah.
know, and access all the episodes. And I've also heard that they have a lot more creative freedom there. Too.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
and there's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, they're still making, people like on Stranger Things are still making tons of
They're
money,
making,
you know.
over like
Yeah.
$250,000 an episode, which is crazy. But yeah, you
Yeah.
could definitely be successful there. What kind of show would you want? Like a sitcom or?
Yeah, for sure, comedy, like a dark sitcom.
Oh, that should be that would be fun to watch. Any other sitcoms that you really like? Like you mentioned Seinfeld. That was a great show.
I just started watching Superstore. I think it's really funny.
Really? I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. That's still around, right?
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Hulu.
Okay.
It's an NBC show, but they have it on Hulu.
They have it on Hulu.
I think the premise is great, and the characters are so funny.
What's it about?
It's about basically, it looks like a Walmart.
Oh, okay.
So all the characters who work at Walmart.
Okay, that should be fun. How many seasons are there? Do you know?
I don't, maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4, that's right. Okay, because I remember I've seen the commercials for it, but I never like gotten into it because I watch a lot of old sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could always use a new one. Any other shows that you're into right now?
I watched, no, that's like the newer one that I into. I've liked American Horror Story. I haven't watched that in a while though. And I watch like a lot of old shows too, like really old.
What was the last season of American Horror Story that you saw?
Oh, probably the witch one.
That's Coven.
Yeah.
3. Okay,
It's
so
old.
that's like 4 years already.
Yeah.
They're bringing that back. Did you see?
Oh, the witch one?
They're doing the first season and 3 together.
Oh, really?
It's coming back for this fall it's a crossover season.
Oh, so they're bringing back, what's his name? I liked it, the crazy shrink. What's his face?
Oh my god.
Oh God.
I'm blanking.
I'm blanking on his name too. He has a really Irish sounding last name.
McDermott?
Yes, Dylan McDermott. So they're bringing back them.
I don't know who they're bringing back. They haven't announced it because they just announced that the crossover season was happening. Because they announced that a while ago, but that it's happening this year. So I know Sarah Paulson is coming back. Emma Roberts. I'm sure Evan Peters.
Yeah,
'Cause
he's
a
really good actor.
Last season he was amazing. If you watch that.
Did he play Charlie Manson, right?
In like a scene or two, like an episode, yeah. But he played like 6 different characters last season, and he absolutely stole the show.
Yeah, he's an amazing actor. He's really good.
American Animals, he's in that movie. That just came out. That's like an indie movie, and that was really good too. But yeah, they haven't announced any of the cast for this season yet, but I would assume a lot of people are coming back. And that should be a fun crossover season. What about music? What kind of music are you into?
Lately I've been listening to Camilla Bella.
Oh, okay.
I think that she has some good music. I like old music too, like 80s music.
Like pop or?
Like Madonna.
Madonna,
Like
okay.
Madonna. I like Lady Gaga. I haven't listened to her newer stuff.
Me either. Yeah. She's also going to be in a movie. She was good in American Horror
Yeah,
Story.
she's good. She's talented.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Kind of wanted to save this for later, but we could do it right now. Kind of a little bit of a speed round. It doesn't have to be speed round game, but just bring up a couple of topics and maybe you give your opinion or something on each topic. And you can say whatever you want. Obviously, no bad language, of course, but anything you want to. If you want to make a joke. I mean, I don't know if you've done improv, correct?
Yeah.
So maybe you could pull something out. Donald Trump. I know, I came out right off the bat.
I think that Donald, obviously think he's ridiculous. I don't really think that he actually thought he would become president. Like, I feel like he was bored, needed something to do. When he's rich, he can fund his own campaign.
Mm-hmm.
He's so rich, he can do whatever he wants. But I really do think that, obviously, he's a bad president. He's so kooky. He doesn't know how to be dignified. Like, it's okay to be crazy on Twitter when you're an entertainer. I mean, not to what he says, but I mean, you have to be dignified as a president. You can't just yak.
He loves Twitter.
Yeah, he's like a publicity whore.
Yeah, pretty much. IHOP to IHOB. Have you heard?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
they changed burgers.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird. I've seen like some YouTubers go. I don't know if they're sponsoring YouTubers, but I've seen some YouTubers go there and claim like the burgers are really good. I just feel like they're running out of ideas, and I didn't really realize that they weren't getting that business. I guess
Yeah.
Denny's is beating them.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that they weren't doing so well, so that's why they kind of did this. And I don't know if it's temporary or not, so that's what I've heard. It might be
Yeah.
temporary, so. Scary movies.
I'm like pretty excited about the new Halloween that's coming
It
out.
looks good.
I like scary movies, but I can never watch anybody getting killed. Like, knowing that they're gonna get killed is enough for me to be scared.
Right.
I can't watch.
No gruesome stuff.
I can't like watch it happening, and it like really surprises me that Michael Myers is such a sociopath and kills random people for really no apparent reason. But he has fans and people like him.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite?
I think Freddy Krueger, like at least Freddy Krueger's funny. He has
okay,
funny
yeah.
moments.
I've
But
never
Michael
seen
is
him.
just unlikable.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
No.
Yeah, so. Do you like Freddy? Any other scary movies that you like? Or?
I of course love all the screams. I know
Those
they're
are
like
good.
spoofing
Right,
scary
those-
movies too, but at least there's like a point of the killers, and I do think that it was funny. The original was funny that Wes Craven went after himself.
Yeah. California splitting into 3 different states. You just moved here a couple years ago, so what do you think?
I mean, if it makes stuff cheaper, then split it any way you want.
Yeah, anyway. The World Cup.
I wish that like people would treat people like they treat the World Cup. I mean, that thing is treated like it's like protected so hardcore. It's like in a hotel room with one person. There's like security everywhere.
It seems like it's bigger than the Olympics.
Yeah.
Honestly. The way I've heard the last couple of days. Disney.
I think that Disney is so ridiculous, but it's just something that everyone secretly loves, even though we know the stories. A lot of the stories are ridiculous. I think they're, in the last few years, though, they're definitely getting more progressive. I think, well, this was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but the one where Maleficent, I thought that was very progressive.
They're doing a sequel on that.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I think they just started shooting. But yeah, let me know when there's a commercial. Let's see. Have you seen any of the Netflix comedy specials?
Yeah, I saw the Chris Rock one.
Oh, okay.
I love Chris Rock.
That one's good. Did you
I
see
saw
it?
the Sarah Silverman one.
I haven't seen that one. I didn't know she had one.
Yeah, she did a couple of months ago.
Okay, I'll check that one out. Did you watch Chris Rock's sitcom?
No, I didn't.
Everybody Hates Chris. That one's really good. With Terry Crews, he's really funny in that. Any other ones that you've seen?
No.
No. Any Dave Chappelle? Are you into?
Oh, I did see his, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I think
big
he's a
com-
great performer. He's funny.
He's funny. I miss his show. All the skits and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about kind of your skits. Like, how many have you? I mean, over the years, how many have you done? Would you say? I mean, obviously, you might not know the exact amount, but like.
I used to do a lot, but I deleted a lot of them because I didn't like them anymore.
Were they on YouTube first?
They were, yeah. I delete. I try to create different characters too. But like I feel like now that when you're developed more, you create your like writing style. To where people could be like, she wrote that skit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and like give the skits because skits are they have to have punchlines.
Mm-hmm.
They're still jokes.
Right.
Even if it's a physical punchline, it's still a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And before we go any further, we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Affordable, professional, and located on the second floor of the USU. Electric Hair has all of your nail and hair needs covered. For an appointment, call 562-958-4522. That's 562-958-4522.
As a college student on the campus of Cal State University Long Beach, I'm sure many of us have experienced the need for health services concerning sickness, injury, or vaccination. I know I have. One night I was playing basketball and I sprained my ankle pretty bad. The next morning, I went over to our student health services to get my ankle checked out. I filled out the necessary paperwork, and the student health services took care of me. The mission of student health services is to support students' physical and mental well-being through affordable quality health services and education. Student health services provide sensitive, confidential healthcare services to a diverse campus community. The fees of the student health services are included in our tuition. For more detailed information concerning student health services, search csulb.edu/SHS.
They say money makes the world go round, but how much do you really know about it? Hi, my name is Moshe Goldstein, and I invite you to listen to my show Money for the 99, where I'll be discussing topics that will help you make better financial decisions. From how the economy works, to discussions about money-saving techniques, or just clarifying what the Wall Street-driven media is saying. We cover it all every Saturday at 8 a.m. on 22 West Radio.
And we're back with the Golden Spotlight. I am your guest host for today. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at EthanNB95, and I am joined by Jaclyn Passaro. Did I say that wrong? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
We were talking about skits beforehand, and you mentioned that you deleted a couple of them.
Yeah, I used to put them online and like for years, and I didn't like them anymore.
Did you just think they weren't good anymore?
Yeah, they weren't good. They were stupid to me.
Have you been doing more recently? You mentioned you did one a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I did one a few weeks ago with my friend. It's basically her thing.
Oh, okay.
But, like, a few of us are in it. So when she gets it edited, then I can post it.
Okay, cool. And that'll be on your YouTube channel, or?
I'll just post it on Instagram.
Okay.
It's easier to get, like, people to watch your content now on Instagram than YouTube.
Yeah, they're trying to get to like an hour video. I think they're updating.
Oh, really?
To really try to get like an hour of footage.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with like 3 minutes, but 1 minute can be really hard.
Yeah, because there's a certain cutoff, and
yeah,
it's tougher to produce a lot of content like that. A lot of people use Instagram Live as well, and Facebook and such. Do you watch SNL? Or?
Not consistently.
Because you do skits and such. Is there anyone like really inspiring you to kind of do skits? Because we mentioned your comic and your stand-up and inspirations, but any like skits or actors that you really like?
Well, my friend told me that someone like Tina Fey is really cool. I mean, she hasn't done stand-up, but she writes a lot. I mean, she wrote Mean Girls. She was on SNL. Mm-hmm. She's written books. She's done tons of stuff.
Yeah,
she has a great career.
Yeah,
and she's big into like creating her own content. Mm-hmm. So like I really never really paid more attention to Kristen Wiig. Like I really like her Target character, the Target skits, Target lady.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're trying to. Okay.
And the one where she plays a pathological liar.
Yeah. any of your favorite movies that you really inspire you, or you just like?
I definitely like the high school comedies like Mean Girls and like Fast Times at Ridgemont High
Okay, haven't seen
and Heathers, which is a dark comedy.
What really got you into the dark stuff? You mentioned your family would always kind of
Yeah.
use that dark comedy. Was that primarily it, or?
Yeah, I definitely believe my family has a dark sense of humor, but I think that when you just start writing, your voice just starts to develop and mine develop dark.
Dark, yeah. Let's see. Growing up, did you ever, forget that. You've been in Los Angeles for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you like tour around, or is it just primarily here, LA?
I've performed so far in Vegas and Arizona.
Okay. Are you looking to expand further?
Yeah, definitely. I want to invest in merch and start like an online shop so I can start selling stuff at shows.
You gotta spread the brand.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
I would like to perform in New York for sure because my family is there, and I would like to perform on the East Coast.
And you've never performed for them?
Not yet on the East Coast. No.
Okay. But have they seen you before?
My parents have, not like my cousins, and
Okay.
I have other family.
Okay, cool. And where did you perform in Vegas?
Planet Hollywood.
Oh, that's nice. Pretty cool. Did you like open for someone, or was that like your own show?
No, I opened. I was like the second act.
Okay, so it was a multiple
Yeah.
kind of show. So what's that like? Because you perform with a number of people, and you're kind of slotted maybe first or second, and maybe sometimes the person before you is really good or really bad.
Yeah.
Like how do you follow that?
When someone's really good, it's actually a positive because the audience is in a peppy mood.
Mhm.
So I would rather follow someone. I want everyone on the lineup to like do good.
Right.
As a performer, it's nice to see everyone having fun. But like when you follow a person or a couple of people who didn't do so well, it's harder on you.
Yeah. Does it kind of bring the mood? It brings the mood down, or?
Yeah, I can bring the room down.
How often do you do like comedy shows? Perform.
It depends on the week. Like 4 to 5 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that much. Wow. So that's all primarily here in LA.
Yeah.
And are those on your own shows, or is it just?
No, it's other people's shows too.
Oh, okay, great. And do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, I went at State Social House Wednesday. It starts at 9:30.
Okay, cool. And where that's in?
It's on Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset. All right. So Wednesday night at 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 ends at like 12:30.
Okay, that's a solid show.
Yeah.
How many performers?
There's a lot on that show. Maybe like 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's a free show and a lot of good comics come in.
That should be good. How long are your sets normally?
In LA, like 8 to 10 minutes.
So you gotta fit.
In other areas, you could get like Riverside, they give you more time. You could get like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it just depends on like the city.
Cities, yeah.
And how
Riverside,
many
you can get more time for sure.
How is it easier or harder? Would you think? Working 8 to 10 minutes, because you can probably fit in a good amount, but at the same time, having a longer set might also be helpful.
I think longer sets make you stronger as a performer.
Yeah, you get that experience.
Yeah, and then in the beginning, like 8 to 10 minutes seems very long, and then once you get used to your bits, it becomes shorter and
Right.
shorter.
That's what I would think. What's your longest set that you've performed?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, cool. And so, do you often like write new stuff like weekly?
Yeah, I write a lot.
So it's like weekly.
Like on a daily basis, I
Daily
try to
basis.
write jokes and
Okay.
send them to people. There's one particular person who, if he gives me like a big LOL, he's like 100% dead on that's a good joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good to have someone kind of
Yeah.
to try it out on before you take it to the stage. Do a lot of jokes never make it, or?
Yeah, like I mean, there's lots of jokes that I'll try multiple times. I'm like, oh, this isn't working, so I try and change the punchline or just like with me, my punchlines have to be really strong because that's what the audience is used to.
Mm.
Like I'm a good joke writer, so like a B joke for me, for other people, it could be like an F joke for me because I have mostly one-liners with like just a strong punch, a strong nail.
Cool. Did you write anything today? So far, or not yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So you're working on it, probably. Any new material? Like, how often do you bring new material? Is it every show that you try to get new stuff in? Or?
I tried to do a couple of jokes, like each new thing, just to like continue to like expand bits and continue to grow the act.
What's the process like when you kind of plan out every joke? Is there a certain order, like you need to have this joke first? Or?
Yeah, for sure. My act is very strategic because I have to get the audience to like me, specifically the girls, because guys, it's easier to get them to like dark humor. Girls were more emotional, so they're gonna feel it more. So that's why I open always talking about Barbie and Disney because the girls relate and they're cool with me then, and then I can get worse. But a lot of people suggested that I do more family stuff with act outs because the audience does get bored after a while. Like, people really can listen to 8 minutes of one-liners before they're bored. You have to be entertaining, and act outs are just entertaining.
Right.
So I've been writing more family stuff for sure, act outs.
Like your own family?
Yeah.
Or, so. What is their reaction when they hear when you talk about them?
My mom will be like, "I didn't say that, but if it gets laughs, so be it."
So it's all just as long as it helps you, it's good.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because it's a character version of them.
Right. Where did the Barbie joke come from?
Originally I used to do all one-liners. So the first Barbie joke I ever wrote was, "Hey everyone, I have some news about Barbie. She's finally getting nipples." So really it's the same joke, but I just created a bit about Barbie.
Okay. So you just update it, kind of elaborate more. Cool. You mentioned the Disney. I haven't heard the Disney one.
Yeah, I have a Disney bit that follows her.
What is the Disney kind of? You don't have to say the joke, but what's it about, pretty much?
It's really just making showing the audience that Disney isn't good enough for me.
Oh, okay.
That here's what's wrong with everything, because it really introduces the character too.
Oh, okay.
Look,
nice.
I find that what's wrong with everything.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what separates you from other people is that you kind of find what's wrong with everything, and it builds your character. So
yeah,
that's really exciting. We've got a few more minutes left, so let's see. You have your show on Wednesday. Is there any other shows that you want to promote?
I'll be doing my own show soon. I don't know what day yet. Probably in July. But Sunset's the closest one, so it'll be Wednesday.
Sunset, okay. Planning to take it out of state? Any other shows out of state?
I might be doing some Vegas in early July. I really want to. My friend performs in New York. See if I can maybe go to do some New York stuff or East Coast stuff, and then just submit to festivals soon.
Oh, okay. So, what's the festival stuff like?
There's bunches of comedy festivals that you could submit to, and if you get in, some of them pay for you to go out, pay for your room and whatnot, and it's just a chance to network and perform.
Nice. Are the crowds different from let's say LA and Las Vegas or Arizona?
They're definitely different, but in my experience, LA has been dead on with what other audiences find funny in my act. It's just, it gets a bigger laugh.
Oh, okay.
In another state. So for me, I listen to LA. People have said that if you can do well in LA and New York, you could do well anywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of the toughest.
Yeah.
Spots. So Have you ever been heckled?
Yeah, for sure.
And what's that like?
I don't really mind it. Sometimes I think that like people don't really realize sometimes that they're not supposed to talk to you. Lots of times they're drunk.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really hurt my feelings or bother me because nobody has ever been mean to me.
Okay.
They just want to talk to me.
So they kind of want to be a part of the
Yeah.
show almost.
There was only one time when a joke bombed and they were like, oh, we understood it. We just didn't think it was funny. That's the only nasty thing I've ever had said to me, and I just was like, okay, like, I'm not going to fight with you.
Okay, good. No, that's good that you haven't been through all that, because it could be a lot.
Yeah.
A lot on some people. Is there any other projects that you're working on besides?
Just like, I want to start like an online shop and start selling like merch. So I've been like, I'm gonna start getting stickers, and then I would like to get little notebooks, like made with a joke, with one of my jokes on the front.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would some of your merch say? What would you
I
say?
haven't decided with the notebooks. The stickers are gonna say I'm better than Barbie. I have nipples, so use the Barbie joke for that. I could get multiple stickers made too, but like that's
your
definitely
staple.
a joke that the jokes have to be jokes that people just understand automatically. So notebooks, I don't know yet. I'd have to ask like some people that I know, like, what do you think people would like the most? Probably Disney jokes. I probably will put some of those on there.
Yeah, maybe some Disney-related merch.
Yeah.
Kind of spoof off or maybe satire.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you gonna sign off or am I? Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm talking to Rob over here. So yeah, it seems like you're consistent when it comes to your career here, which is amazing and good. What was the transition like moving to LA and kind of working like that, on a daily basis almost?
I think that LA is definitely a hustle, but like there's a lot of lazy people in LA.
Yeah.
So it's really, there's competition, but like outsiders don't understand that there's a lot of people here, but there's also a lot of lazy ass people. So
Okay.
even if you have talent, if you're lazy,
You're not gonna.
it's gonna be unless your mom and dad are famous, Unless
Right.
you're a Hilton. Like
Where have they been? I have not heard.
you're a Kardashian.
There we go. Yeah. So I guess last thing before we head out, you promoted some of your shows already. What would you, when it's all said and done, and you still have a long career, I'm sure, and what would you want to leave behind? I guess, what would you want people to know you by?
I would like people to realize that characters who seem unlikable could really be lovable. That like
That's a good quote.
most comedians kind of play characters that you initially really love, and I play one that you initially kind of hate.
That's an interesting way to take.
So I think it's funny to get people to like someone who's really initially unlovable.
All right, and on that note, I think that's a great way to end it. Getting someone to like someone who's initially unlikable. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Golden Spotlight. I want to thank Rob, and I guess I'm going to be signing off for us. I want to thank Rob for letting me guest host. I think I'm the only guest host ever, so thank you for that. Just a quick little a shout out to our show on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Beyond the Ropes. Be sure to listen for that. And once again, Jaclyn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Do you have a catchphrase? Do you normally say no? No? We'll see you. Rob, we'll see you next Monday on next week's episode of the Golden Spotlight.